Welcome to today's show. For all of you watching on YouTube, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications. Today on Mr. Nashville Talks, a 4-octave dynamo with a history-making Broadway pedigree, Miss Melba Moore. Well, today I'm so excited because I have someone that just blows me away with all her vocals. I mean, this lady, she's conquered Broadway, she's conquered recording, she's conquered television, which is hard to do. She even had her own television series named after her. She has a new song out now called I'm Just Doing Me, and we want you to go to all the streaming platforms and get that. All of you know where to go, and if you don't, then email me and I'll make sure you know where to go. And I'm so excited, Miss Melba Moore. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such an honor because I'm a big fan. I know you hear that probably with everybody, but I'm
Well,
one of
I
these.
don't get tired of it, so please don't stop.
I tell you, you and Shirley Bassey, you've kept your strength and your voice um, through so much, and I just think it's amazing. Usually, people kind of diminish how they take care of their voice, and then things like your tops go more closer to your bottom and things like that. You're just expanding your zone,
Happened with some
stretching
other
them.
parts of my body, but not my voice, okay?
I love that. Well, it looks great from here
Don't back
anyway.
up, though.
Well, you come from a musical pedigree. I mean, your mom was Bonnie Davis, your dad was Teddy Hill, and she even had a hit song, "Don't Stop Now," which it's great as well. Um, did you know you were growing up in such a family that had this, that you were carrying on a legacy, or did you just knew mom went off to work and came home?
No, to all of the above. Well, I'm African American. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know, we came here as slaves, and so because we
right.
did, and because marriage is not really popular these days,
Yeah,
I, like so many others, started from a broken family. So no, I had no music in my family in the beginning. My mother was a single parent when she had me. She didn't yet have her hit record. So
yeah.
she was out trying to take care of me, and her mother had strokes. My grandmother, she had strokes, so she didn't speak.
Oh,
You know how some people, they lose their speech and a lot of
yes.
their
Yeah.
ability to move. So I really don't know who my family is, because my
Oh,
mother's from Birmingham, Alabama, but she brought my grandmother to New York City, and
yes.
she had me there in New York City. But she brought in someone to take care of us. So she was gone most of the time, and there was no music. And I found out late. I found out from her who my father was,
Yes.
but I just wanted my daddy. I didn't know anything about music. So
Right.
I'm just trying to say to people, family is important, first of all. And,
Yes.
we assume, and we should, that's where you get who you are.
Yes. Yes.
So, but I didn't get that until my mother married my stepfather, whom you didn't even mention, but I'll tell you who he is because he raised me and I love him.
Yes. 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 What was his name?
His,
Huntingford, right?
his name is Clem Mormon.
Oh, where did I get Huntingford? I don't know where I got that. Sorry. Forgive me.
Probably another great star. I don't know. So,
You, you,
but my stepfather played the piano. He and mother worked together.
yes.
They fell in love.
Oh,
And they moved me, my grandmother, and my nanny from New York to Newark, New Jersey, where I
yeah.
then started really having a family.
Yes.
And my stepfather had a son and a daughter, so I then had a sister and a brother.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
made us take all of us take piano lessons. That's when music came into. But I was already 10 years old.
Yes. Yes.
That's late.
Yeah. It's
Especially
late to,
if you're
yeah.
the instrument. If your gift is singing, you're the instrument. So you usually know that about
Yes.
about the time you're 3 or 4 years old.
Right.
So I'm just trying to say I'm a late bloomer.
Late bloomer. Well, and you're holding on to it, so that's a good thing. That's the type of bloom that everybody could hope to have. You're a very special blooming flower. Well, because I guess too, then you probably because you lived in Harlem early on before you went to Newark. I guess you didn't probably even realize how the whole arts thing of Harlem at that time, or the history around it and left before it mattered to you, I guess, too.
Well, I didn't find out until I left,
Yes, yeah.
because by 10 years old, you're pretty cognizant of what's around you. Like, I grew up in Central Park.
Yes, yeah.
Newark was not like that.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah,
It was different. But the culture that I had in Newark was all over, because the music and the musicianship, and of course my father was a musician.
yes,
We were
yes.
keyed into music. So I mean, they were friends with people like Sarah Vaughan.
Oh, wow.
See,
Wow.
so the influence was just tremendous once it was there.
Yes, yes. And you went to art school there too, correct? In high school?
No, not arts.
Oh, okay. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
it's called arts, but I can't draw.
Uh, I got you. I got you. But you can sing.
Larry, you tickle me, boy.
I do. I love.
I'm
I
an artist, but I can't draw. Okay. Now,
yeah.
I went to arts high school, and I majored in vocal music.
Yes. See, oh, that and it kind of. By then, you were just kind of watering your gift, right?
I believe so. I
right.
think because I could have gone to just a regular public high school,
Yes.
but we had been I had been. No, we all had been
Yeah.
so indoctrinated with music. Because I remember my parents, they didn't want us to be musicians. First of all, because we were Black, and we needed to have an education and a foundation so that we could, do something to make a proper living. And being a musician is still very nefarious and, kind of considered unsteady.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted us to have a solid way to make a living. So they really discouraged us from music, but they were in love with it, and so were we. So by the time I got to junior high school and it was time to go to high school, I discovered Arts High and thought, well, I'll go and audition and see if I can get into a music school. And if I can, I'd like to just focus on music. So it really began there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. And you in your, I guess your biggest break was probably when you got cast in Hair for Broadway, correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of being a solo artist and becoming a star, yes. But before that, my first job was as a public school music teacher.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
I
Well,
don't publicize that, so no, I'm joking.
well, I mean that would explain too, because I know you go back and help a lot with
Yeah.
that and mentoring people and things, and you seem to have that kind of mentoring spirit about you and giving spirit. I mean, that's what I pick up from you when I see all of see you interviewed and things. I get that from you. So I bet that's a lot to do with it. You kind of married both careers when you.
Well, I did not want to go. I did not want to teach school.
Yeah.
But when I started doing my practice teaching, there was one lady that really, really impacted me. When I started doing my practice teaching in Southside High School with a woman by the name of Dorothy Schneider. That doesn't mean anything to anybody but me. But she was such an incredible genius teacher.
Yeah.
And she was very, very, very committed to it. Yeah. And I kind of caught that spirit from her. I saw it from I was so indoctrinated with wanting to be a performer.
Yes. Yeah.
But being involved with learning with young people and teaching them and learning from them and just being with them, and especially also teaching in the lower grades when children are just, they're just magnets to you.
Yeah.
If they like the way you look, they just are like that.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, you're influencing these young people's lives. And then when you're teaching them, you spend quite a bit of time with them. You spend days, weeks, years with them.
Yes, yes.
You really become part of their world. And you can see like the effects of some of the influences that you have on them.
Yes.
That's what you see. I carried that. I finally told my father, I said, look, Daddy, that's your dream. It's not my dream to be a school teacher. So could you please try to help me get into the industry? But to make a long story a little shorter, I'm sure I took that with me. It's because it's personal. It's a human interaction and contact. And before that, like and when I still was very shy and shut down, a very painful childhood, but that oneness with people. So,
Yeah.
so for instance, if you and I are talking now, we have a whole
Yeah.
thing that's just life that happens to people when they come together.
That's right. That's
It
right.
kind of takes over everything else.
Yes. Yes. That's the thing. And I just sense this whole love of people from you. Every interview I've seen, and I watched more of them more recently as I knew we would be doing this. And you just have, and I'm feeling it coming through the screen. You just have a love about you. If not, you're really good at faking it.
No, I'm a wonderful actress, but not a faker.
That's right. That's right. Well, but back kind of to your actressing, you get cast on Broadway in Hair, and you make iconic Broadway history by being the first Black star, or to replace a white star, a white lead in a Broadway musical. I mean, that was. Did you know that it was groundbreaking at the time you did it, or was it one of those things that came back to you
Larry,
later?
I had never even been to a play.
Really?
I
Wow.
didn't know like stage right. I don't know what that was.
Wow. Wow. And
So
to get,
no, I knew, of course, you got to know it's important.
yes.
But
Yeah.
if you're not in theater, you don't really kind of know the details or how it works.
Yes.
And so maybe that's good too, because you're not like really scared that way.
Yeah.
You say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, okay, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. If it doesn't work out, there's always something
And
else.
I can always go back into the chorus.
That's right. Kids are still waiting at the high school.
Right, go back and teach.
Now, how did you get cast in Hair?
Oh, it came. What I was telling you, that I told my father, could he please introduce me to some people in the industry so I could get some jobs performing. And we went to some publisher's office on Broadway, and one of the first people I met was Valerie Simpson. She was sitting in this publisher's office too,
Wow.
because she was a budding songwriter.
Yeah.
And she hadn't become a star performer or a star songwriter yet.
Yes. Yeah.
So we exchanged numbers, and she got me involved with studio singing, backup singing. One of the recording sessions was for a wonderful artist by the name of Galt McDermott. He wrote the music for Hair. And he was performing his own solo performance of he was a wonderful keyboardist as well as a composer. So he was doing his own album of the music from Hair.
Wow.
We were the backup singers.
Wow.
They usually sing like oohs and ahs, but
Yeah.
I read music, okay? So
Yeah.
I was reading music, and it said, glitty glub gloopy, nibby nubby nib new. I said, what the heck is this? Glitty glub gloopy. What is that? We were looking at them kind of strange. Now Galt looked okay, but Jim and Jerry, they were hippies.
Yeah. Did they have shoes on?
No.
No.
Nope. And I don't know if you know what Jerry Radney used to look like.
No.
But he's a white man with bushy red curly hair. It looked like an afro, but it's curly. He looked like his fingers were stuck in a live plug, okay? That's how he looked. So after about doing a week of all of the songs from the show, he comes up to me and he asked me what I like to do hair. I said, excuse me? You the one that need a hairdresser? He explained to me there was going to be a Broadway show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I got my Broadway show. He said, all of us, if we wanted to, they really heard us sing and they were still casting.
Yeah.
We could go down and sing for the director and the producer. So I did, and I got into the show.
That's amazing. Well, like background singing, a lot of people don't realize this, but that's an art all of itself. I was talking with Nita Pointer on one of my interviews, and I was just, that's how kind of they got started too. And I come from a background where I did some music producing. And so I'm just, I love to hear the background singers, because
it's part of the instrumentation. It's part of the movement of the record. It's very important.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. was I've heard different stories, like it was kind of the Hare was considered kind of the stepson of Broadway or stepsister of Broadway, or
Not
how were
even,
y'all treated? Huh?
not even. We wouldn't
Yeah.
step nothing, just get out, But you couldn't put us out because it was a hit.
Yeah. Because they
Everybody wanted to see the nude scene.
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Did you have to do it?
Well, when we were casting it, we weren't required. And then along the way, before we opened, they changed the rules. I said, well, I didn't, I
Yeah.
didn't sign up for that. Then they said, well, you can do it if you want to, you don't have to. Then I was curious, so I did it.
There you never know till you try, right?
Right. I mean, I don't even know anything about Broadway, but I mean, to do a nude scene, well, first of all, you always associate it with sex. I didn't know what they were talking. It's just strange.
Right. Yeah,
So
right.
I said to you, okay, well, part of your characters, you have to do a nude scene. I mean, come on, how can you even think about that?
You were Ludi Bell in Purlie, but so you win a Tony for that musical, and it's a very different role. It seems like, would you say it's a little more wholesome, or how would you describe it?
Just the character. If you know what Diane Keaton looks like,
Yes, yeah, yeah, definitely,
you would not
definitely.
cast her as Ludi Bell now, would you?
No, not at all, not at all.
I would say the huge difference was the type of character,
Yeah,
and of course the format of the play. Hair was really a series of vignettes kind of strung together. It wasn't like, scene one, scene two.
yeah.
But you could rearrange the scenes and you could still tell the story. But Hair was a legitimate play with scenes and, order and songs that you could understand the lyrics and everything.
Yeah, it was Sherman Helmsley. Was he and Robert Goulet? Were they your co-stars?
No, Larry.
That was in the movie.
Wait a minute. No, Larry. You cannot say Robert Goulet.
Oh,
Do you remember who he was?
oh, Benson.
No, Robert
No.
Goulet was a wonderful young white singer. Remember Robert Goulet?
Oh, yes.
You said Robert Goulet. It was Robert Guillaume.
Oh my gosh.
Robert Guillaume was Benson.
Yes.
TV.
How did I get that? I am so sorry. I guess the
Culture shock, baby.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is good for the blooper reel, at least, I thought if she'd want me to say Benson, because I
gotta say Benson.
Yeah. So you had George Jefferson and Benson for your co-stars,
Well, you probably saw the video.
Yeah, I see. Yes, yeah, because I wasn't in New York around that time.
Sherman was in both the original Broadway play and also the video.
Okay.
Robert Guillaume was in the video, or Benson.
Yes.
But Cleavon Little played the original role of Purlie in the musical.
I knew that. I don't know why I forgot that. Yeah.
Did you know that Ossie Davis wrote and created that role?
No, I didn't know that.
It was called Purlie Victorious as a Straight, or when I say straight, I mean it was a musical, excuse me, it was a comedy.
Yes.
But it had no music.
Right. Just, yeah.
Originally.
Yeah, straight theater play. Yeah.
So that's just for your listeners.
Yeah.
But Cleavon Little, they will have seen in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know if I should say that or not. Yes. But yeah. Now, was Blazing Saddles, had it been made yet?
No.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. But he was still a pretty well-known star at the time, right?
No, I think Purlie got him Blazing Saddles.
Maybe, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He got a Tony Award for Purlie as well.
But was that an enjoyable experience?
Oh, it was. First of all, they became my family.
Yeah.
They showed me stage right and stage left. And we just had a hilarious time.
Yeah. I've read that Sherman is actually a pretty serious guy off
maybe he is with some people. He wasn't with me.
Okay, good. He's cutting up. That's good. I like to know that. Because in my head, I picture him as a cut up,
He did his imitations of Carmen McRae for me.
Oh, wow.
Now that's hilarious. I don't know. I felt like Sherman had a little soft spot in his heart for me. Not that he didn't for other people,
Yeah. Yeah.
but and we didn't spend a lot of time together.
Right.
It was just a sweet relationship.
Yes.
Whenever our paths crossed,
That's sweet. That's really nice to know, because you want to hope that about him, because he's so lovable on television. I mean, even though he's being, wild on the Jeffersons, but I mean, it was a good wild,
Well, I did a couple of plays with him, different things with him, and he's a sweet person.
Yeah. Yeah. I had Marla Gibbs on, and she said the same thing. She just loved him. You also were in Timbuktu with Eartha Kitt. You were only in it for a little while.
Well, the show didn't run forever, not as long as Purlie did in Hair, but also I had my first hit record, so I went on tour.
Gotcha.
For my record company.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to, especially in the time. Now they sell 1 million records and everything before it's even released, which I don't understand. Back, people don't realize you had to work for your sales and work for your awards.
Right.
Those awards mattered because you earned them.
We did what you call promotional tours.
Yeah.
Where the record company paid for it, but you went out and you appeared on other people's shows, opening for them, for instance, so they could see you, and that you could also promote the music. They had a whole team of promoters and I guess what you call them, well, kind of salesmen that went around to the radio stations to get the songs played on the radio.
Yeah.
And then you also did, well, my songs were dance songs. So we went to all the clubs and performed it. So we did promotional tours.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess they're probably just as stressful, though, I would think.
It's a performance. So yeah, I don't know about other people. I get scared. It's time to go on stage. I get scared.
Yeah. That's when you know that you're still humble. You're still doing it right, I think. As if you don't have butterflies and you don't have a little bit of fear going out on the stage, I think you're getting a little bit, that's how you kind of check yourself, I think. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Definitely when you get scared, you say, did I do this? Did I do that? So yes, you do.
Yeah. Because if you think you just did everything perfect and everything, you probably don't have the best personality to be around all the time. Those type of people, I would think. Yeah, I don't know.
I've never not been scared, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's why you do so well. And that's why you're so lovable. That's what I was talking about, that humbleness about you. I mean, you made Broadway history twice. Well, probably more than this, but 2 really extreme times by being the first African-American cast and replacing a white actress lead. Wait
a minute, Larry. You got to say it's Diane Keaton, baby.
Diane Keaton, yes.
No white actress,
That's true. The legendary Diane Keaton.
She wasn't legendary yet
at the time, yeah. But y'all gave her a little push up that ladder, a little bit, or at least push to Woody Allen. Isn't that where she went?
We gave her a push.
No, yeah.
She certainly went on from there.
Yeah, definitely. But I was going to say another time that you actually made Broadway history too, that was kind of in a little bit of the same vein, is when you were the first African-American to play Fontaine in Les Miserables.
What an experience.
I bet. With your voice, I bet that just had to be an amazing musical to be part of.
It was. But the biggest thing was getting out of the way to the sets, boy.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I mean, the music, I Dreamed a Dream, all of the songs were just incredibly enjoyable to do. And Richard J. Alexander is the one who cast me in it. And he saw me doing an original play that I had written in Hollywood, Florida, where he had a home. So he just came to see me, and I was doing something experimental.
Yes.
So I was doing something to show my classical voice, because in R&B radio music, you don't do that.
Right.
In Hair or Purlie, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
He said, wow, I didn't know you could sing classical music. He said, I want you to do the role of Fontaine. And he said, I'm not really joking.
Wow.
Serious about it. He says, "There's only
Yeah.
one thing I require. You have to sing classical. You can't lapse back into any of those other things you know how to sing.
Don't go pop or dance on us now.
Please."
But Purlie kind of brought you, I think, to attention of a lot of like Hollywood, because you started doing movies, and then you had your variety show after that as well.
I would think the thing that really Pearlie did get the attention
Yeah.
was
And then
television
your
variety shows, because like I was a guest star on I'm trying to think, Carol Burnett, Flip Wilson, um, what's the Golden Girl lady?
B. Arthur.
B. Arthur.
I saw you with Rock Hudson.
Right.
I
And
forgot to
Madam.
see that. Oh, I love Madam. I met Madam. I got a picture with Madam.
And many others that I can't think of right now, but but Pearlie, I think, especially since really my forte and my focus, the only thing that I really had experience at was singing and music. So generally, if you became a star from singing and you went on these shows, you sang a hit record and that's all. But I
Right.
got to play characters with them.
That had to be amazing to do,
It was amazing.
because you're talking the top people like that have ever been, really.
I did a duet with Carol Channing.
I produced Carol Channing on a couple records. Did you really?
You know what the song was?
What?
Me and My Shadow, and she was the shadow.
I love that.
But Larry, that'll give you an example of some of the wonderful opportunities that I had that were so unique.
So doing all those variety shows and things, I guess that's kind of what captured someone's attention and said, let's give her and Clifton a variety show. Or did you
No,
sell it yourselves?
What happened was, while I was doing Purlie, Clifton was down the road doing Hello Dolly, but it was starring Pearl Bailey,
Yes. Yeah.
Cap Calloway,
Yes.
and Chris Calloway, his daughter,
Wow.
and an incredible cast and chorus.
Yeah.
And Clifton was in the chorus and just coming into the industry too. And
Oh.
the young lady who played Aunt Missy in Purlie introduced me to Clifton.
Hmm.
That's how we met, and we used to go to Novella's house with her and her boyfriend to play cards and stuff. We started dating and fell in love, and then he went from there to Two Gentlemen of Herodotus, so he had the starring role. And so we were kind of like the Black Sonny and Cher.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
I mean, that's how it came about. They came to both of us.
Going into this, I kept pinching myself, because I mean, I love your music, and the fact that you've been able to not just sustain, but to grow and build what, your everything with your voice, everything with your spirit.
God had his hand on it. And I
Yeah.
was really working out my destiny. And fortunately, I was attracted to spiritual things.
Yes. Yes. I love that.
So I'm saying there was a combination of, we might say it's good luck or blessings, and I don't know, you kind of being led by things and opportunities.
While you're having all this Broadway success and everything, and then television success, you still were having hit records along the way. Like This Is It, and then that Lean on Me with that beautiful.
Oh, let me tell you about
long,
Lean on Me.
Yes, Lean on Me. Yeah, you really had to lean on him to get through that.
No,
No.
what had happened was, there were several versions of Lean on Me before. Well, first of all,
Right. Yeah.
my then husband got Van McCoy to be my songwriter producer, because he had written The Hustle, which really ushered in the disco era.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All across the world.
Yes.
But it was like it was my first dance hit that Van McCoy wrote. This Is It. But when I got with him, I found out that he had written Lean on Me.
Yeah.
But by that time, I had heard Aretha Franklin do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think by that time, I had even met her.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Aretha is Aretha. I mean,
Oh, Aretha is I know we call her soul, but she's really all spirit.
yes. Yeah. Definitely.
And now I understand. So am I.
Yes. That's what I was going to
Well,
say.
really, so is everybody. So
Well, and like Aretha, your career is just there's not any style that you're not scared to tackle, or it
we'll
has.
try everything.
Yeah.
But I had gotten developed from singing it in concerts and whatever, my own arrangement on it. And that's what you hear.
Yes.
Because I couldn't sing it like Aretha.
She's doing
But
her
when
whole
she
thing.
did, because of her inspiring me so much, I started trying to learn how to, well, how could I sing it? And then I discovered I had certain, I discovered in Purlie that I had some of these high notes and long notes, and my breath was getting stronger and stuff. But I had a certain way of expressing things.
Yeah. But that note, wow, it's just, the whole song is amazing. But, when you hit that, that, you know what I'm talking about, the
Well,
long
let me tell you
note.
about the note. See,
Yeah.
okay, it wasn't always there.
Okay.
But in trying to sing gospel and trying to sing this and trying to sing that, I would take these deep breaths and, try to holler so my voice would get rough and tough because it was a classical. I mean, Les Mis, I could sing that in my sleep
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
my natural voice was classical.
Right.
But if you want to sing R&B, you got to rough it up,
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm trying to be like Tina, trying to rough it up, But in the process, the notes kept my range, my chest range kept getting broader and stronger, and the high range where I could belt kept getting stronger and longer. And one day I was singing, I can't remember the song now, but I took a deep breath and hit the note and started to hold it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I was listening to it and it was new to me. So I was just listening to it while I was holding it. And I kept holding it and holding it and holding it. And it was like really loud and going like I was throwing it. So to me, it sounded like it was coming from across the room.
Yeah.
But I realized it was me. And so I said, well, can I do that again? And I started doing it. Anyway, that's where that long high note came from.
Wow. That's awesome. See, I would think you're a producer's dream because, you can, adapt almost anything, and
Well, I probably am now.
yeah. One thing that I know you're very proud of, and you should be, is the Lift Every Voice.
Oh,
How did that come about? Because that was really, a
special.
legendary thing. Yeah.
Well, what happened was I was watching the NAACP awards, and they gave an award to this incredible woman by the name of Dr. Dorothy I. Height.
Wow.
And she was the president of the National Council of Negro Women. And that position was bequeathed to her by Mary McLeod Bethune. And she was telling the story of it and what the organization does. And I had some downtime. So I called her and asked her, was there any way that I could participate in the organization? And she allowed me to come out on the road with her and just travel around from city to city to the conferences and the festivals and everything. I was out on the road with her when I first heard, have you ever heard the Clark sisters?
Oh, yeah. 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 I come from a gospel music background, so
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
love
you know more
gospel.
about gospel than I do, probably.
Probably not, but I mean, yeah, I do. I follow it. Yeah, really well. I love the Clark sisters too.
Well, just among many, many different opportunities that I saw with Dr. Height. And she would have what she called prayer breakfasts. She said, Melba, why don't you sing the Negro National Anthem at one of the prayer breakfasts? Because I was just traveling with her, watching. She said, you should sing something. I didn't know that we had a Black national anthem. I learned it and I started to sing it there. And then I went to my record company, Capitol Records, and I thought, I bet a lot of Black people don't know that we have a national anthem. I never hear it. Why don't I ever hear it? Why don't, I should know that we have this.
Yeah.
So then he said, his name was Scott Folks, and he was a Black person too. And he was head of A&R, but he was Black, so he was sensitive to what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But I said, I don't want to make it my song because I think people are going, if you do a great arrangement on it, a lot of people are just going to think it's my hit record.
True. Yeah.
So it was my idea to see if we could get other artists on it, and then get permission from NAACP, because they own the rights to the song, to do it, and then make it a benefit, to let the proceeds go to NAACP, so there would be nothing really commercial about the record.
I love it. And it was the Winans were on it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Dee Winans is the one who did the arrangement. I got to give him credit.
You did. Oh wow. Yeah, because he's great.
Yeah, incredible musician. Of course, he got Cece to sing with him on it.
Yeah.
And he got all the other people to sing on it. I guess I'll mention Stevie Wonder, Dionne Warwick, Stephanie Mills, Jeffrey Osborne. I can't remember everybody, but Jasmine Guy was on A Different World at the time. Debbie Allen directed it and did the visual part of it. Lou Gott did the video. Jesse Jackson did the audio. Narration, yes. And I'm probably leaving out some people, but they made it a star-studded event.
And I love that you later included it on your gospel album. I love that as well.
That was a solo version.
The solo one. Yeah, I love that you did. I love what that one was. And I understand why you did it the way you did that, and it became epic when you did that too. And
it's a hymn.
What made you decide to do it at that time that you did it?
I was out on the road in a gospel play. I'm a born-again Christian.
Yes.
I had lost everything. I didn't even know I have one daughter. I didn't know where she was. So it was really, really, really a time where I was under the yoke of God. That's all I really had. But that cast of people, first of all, I got it and was on the road 2 weeks before I was going to be evicted. So I would have been homeless.
Oh, wow.
Michael Matthews was the one that started. I was out on the road with him. And he flew me to St. Louis to show me what, it didn't exist before, to show me what it was.
Yeah.
And he had this big theater, 2,000 or 3,000 people full every night with this gospel play. Wow. So he knew how to market it. He filled it up. He was filling a void that we didn't have theater, entertainment. I mean, in the style of entertainment. Right. With real Christians, though, not somebody just poking fun at it.
That's always been the case usually.
And it was my first tour. Yes. I kind of like started at the top.
Yeah, you really did. You really did.
But they went out on tour. So my point is, I remember being in such shock when we came to the first rehearsal, and this beautiful, her name is Dita. She says, "Good morning, saints. Praise the Lord, everybody." I said, "Oh my God, did I die and go to heaven?" Everybody around me was always cussing,
Yeah.
So I just sat there in shock to observe these people who were saints.
Yeah.
And at a time when I had lost everything.
Yeah.
I had been blackballed. At that time, people in the industry were told that I was a drug addict. I mean.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was shamed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I can say I was just numb. And one of the places we went, we ran into Shirley Murdoch.
Oh yeah, she's great too. She's amazing.
And she's a real gospel artist.
Yes. Yes.
She had like one big secular hit, "As We Lay."
Yeah.
But she is stone gospel.
Yes.
So I expressed to her that I wanted to express myself with God, because I know I'm born again. I mean, I know that now.
Yeah.
It happened in an isolated situation. So I knew I was, but I didn't know what you call it.
Right. Right.
Remember what you need. You need a song that tells your testimony. So I said, "Well, Shirley, what's a testimony?" She says, "Melba, what it is like if it were secular, it would be your autobiography.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you're saved, then you tell what Jesus did for you."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, that's what I want." So she wrote this song called "I'm Still Here" for me.
Loved that one. Yeah.
She wrote a song that she did with me as a duet called "Call Me."
Yes.
She wrote it for me so I could do what I do. But it's like if you're down and out and you don't know what to call, you can call me.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone having compassion for somebody that's just totally out. But you know how Shirley can sing, right?
Yes. Yes.
She
I
sang
think,
with me, but she did herself. You can hear the both of us. I just think it's a genius song.
yeah, it is. It is. And
That's how I came to do a gospel album.
everything you've done and listening even to the older music to now, it's just timeless feeling. Going from that, I have to ask you this because my son will kill me if I don't. But he wanted to know what it was like to work with Beyonce and the Fighting Temptation.
I can only say about Beyonce, she made me look short and ugly.
Oh no, she didn't.
No,
No.
she was beautiful to work with, incredible talent. I think that was like among her first movies.
Well, I just said, what's next for Melba?
What's next?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or what you want to be next.
well, I'm not sure because some good things are kind of possible in the offing. Precious.
Yeah.
Who was the director of that?
Lee Daniels.
Well, he said he has something for me.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing is, I know it's going to be raw.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to be something good.
And he's called several times just watching me do things. Says, don't forget, I've got something for you. So he hasn't told me what it is.
Yeah. You'll crush it. It'll be great. Crush it in a good way. I know there's going to be
lots and lots of music, lots of virtual performances. Offers to go to Brazil. Trying to think of them. Back to the UK. You'll be on tour again and do that.
I appreciate you so much for doing this today. And, you know, I hope you felt the love coming back.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I get nervous when I have my favorites on. So if I seemed a little nervous, that's why, because you are one of the favorites.
You're quite comfortable.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. And I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Subscribe to our mailing list and you could win a CD or DVD project by today's featured artist. To enter, please go to www.mrnashvilletalks.com and enter your email address. While there, take a look around, browse through our music store. Our show is totally funded by viewer support. Every t-shirt or music purchase from our store helps bring us new shows for you.